Hey everybody, it's Harlan, and I want to thank you for joining. This is really a walkthrough of Amazon for my 6 and 6 group, and you guys are invited to listen in. Now, I want to tell you that there are lots of people making big money on Amazon. There are also lots of people who are losing their shirts on Amazon. Over the past couple of days, I've talked to a lot of people about Amazon. In fact, I even see some of the people on the call. There are people who are making really good money with Amazon. There are people who are not making really good money with Amazon. Even some people who should know their stuff. In other words, they're serious marketers. And when I talk to them, I find that they're making one mistake. And we're going to cover that up front. And we're going to show you the difference the way Amazon is done in 6 and 6 than the way the rest of the world has done it. Now, when I tell these people who are in doing Amazon and who see what I'm doing, I hear comments like, oh, that's brilliant and whatever. It's not really brilliant. What we have are principles of direct marketing. And the principles of direct marketing don't change, only the mechanism of direct marketing changes. So, for example, one of the greats of, mail order marketing is a fellow by the name of T.J. Rohleder. I'm actually going to put his name in the chat box. And Rohleder is a really sharp guy, really sharp guy, who has built, a business that may be just south of $100 million business. In other words, he's a seriously sharp guy. And he has spent most of his time, virtually all of his time, offline. And he's only coming online now. But he already has the principles that he needs to succeed. He has all of the principles that he needs to succeed. And when he does start coming online, he's going to come on like gangbusters, faster than anybody you've ever seen. Why? Because he has these principles. And by the way, if you want to check out any of his stuff, his books, you'll see these classic principles. That's why you can talk to someone like my teacher, John Carlton, who also made the adjustment from offline to online really quickly. Why? Because he knew that there were these classic principles involved. Now, most people don't come on armed with these classical principles. And a lot of the courses that are out there don't come based on classical principles. So they'll work for some people, but they won't work with consistency. If you build your business based on the classical principles of marketing, which is what I'm going to talk about today, combined with Amazon, you have a really great chance of success. Now, is there anything that can guarantee success? And the answer is, over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing, some webinars. In particular, I'm going to be doing a webinar next Tuesday, which I think between these webinars that I'm doing for 6 and 6 and the webinar that I'm doing next Tuesday are just about the best guarantees of success that you will ever get. Okay? All success is predicated on someone doing hard work. Okay? There's no such thing as there's no such thing as easy success. There's no such thing as do nothing, wake up millionaire. It's one of the convenient lies that people like to believe, but gosh, we would all love to believe, but we know that it's not true. It's just not true. So what we're doing here and what we're doing now is we're going back to those principles and we are applying them. Now, it's really interesting. For those of you who are my Facebook friends, I've been talking the past couple of days about somebody that I met on Facebook, and this is a person who has been a Facebook friend. You know, one of those gazillion Facebook friends that you don't really know who they are. You know, you have no idea who they are. You see them occasionally; they like your stuff. Occasionally, you know, they'll post or they'll comment, but do you really know who they are? And the answer is no, you don't. And somehow we got into a discussion, and I reached out and said hello, and we began talking. And it turns out that I've been referring to it as this person has superpowers. Superpowers. This is a person who can take a product and pretty quickly and with almost regularity make it a seven-figure product. And so, and I had no idea. Honestly, I thought she was a yoga teacher. I thought she was a nutritionist. I was absolutely clueless that this woman did this. And uh, I said, okay, well, are there steps that you would take to take a regular product and make it a seven-figure product? And she said yes, and she put up a list of them today, not knowing what I was going to say. And she sent me this list, and I'm just blown away. But these lists are based on the same classic principles. Now, she uses these principles to take an unknown product and turn it into one that's making millions and millions of dollars. You can take these principles and make it into one that makes you a comfortable living on Amazon. Okay? Now, I'm not here to say anything bad about programs that are out there on Amazon. I've promoted the ASM in the past. I chose not to promote it this time for one reason, and that is that I don't believe that the way they put a product up or what they do with a product when it's on Amazon ensures you of enough chances of success. And I know that there are ASM people on here. I'm not saying anything negative about it, but I'd rather increase your chances of success. I will also point out to you folks on here, and again, going down the list, seeing lots of people I know, lots of friends I know, there's nothing for sale on this webinar. I'm not pitching anything. I'm not pumping anything. This is really just an information webinar for the people in my 6 in 6 program. 6 in 6, incidentally, is closed now. I know after the last webinar, people emailed me and said, you know, how can I get into 6 in 6? And the answer is 6 in 6 is closed now. So with that, we have Glenna behind the scenes here who's going to be answering questions. And I know that there are going to be questions. So we're going to go through the material. There's a lot of material here. Everything that you see, we can go into in incredible depth. I'll be doing that with my 6 in 6 team, but you guys will get along for the ride. There's some really killer stuff at the beginning that's going to change it. I've got some giveaways for you, and just absolutely good stuff. So number one, I believe that most of the teaching about Amazon is being taught bass-ackwards. And what you have to start out with, as we talked about last week, quoting Gary Halbert, is that you have to start out with a hungry crowd. So the first step to determining what to sell on Amazon is determining who the people are that you want to sell to. Okay. Now, I buy so many products to stay on top of what people are doing, and now I'm in so many groups, and someone came on and said, oh, I joined an Amazon program and I have no idea what to sell. And, you know, snarky Harlan goes in there and says, yeah, you know, of course you don't have any idea of what to sell. All of the good items in the world are already taken. And he said, no, it's not that. I can't think of anything. You know, I have no idea what to sell. What do you have to sell? I said, yeah, it must be tough growing up without any hobbies or anything like that that no one else would probably be interested in. And he goes, well, I like golf and fishing. Okay, now he names two markets that are probably some of the biggest markets in the world, right? And I said, well, I'm sure golfers and fishermen probably don't buy anything. Again, these are customers that buy. So your first step is, instead of focusing on the product, I want you to focus on the audience. Who are the people that you want to sell to? And if you're saying things like, okay, these are people who come to Amazon, you're missing the game. Who are we selling to? Are we selling to men? Are we selling to women? How old are they? What are the products that they currently buy? What are their frustrations? What's going on inside their head? What problem will your product solve for them? Now, if you think of a product, then you're missing out on these elements. Okay, so there are all kinds of techniques to, like, okay, let's go to Amazon and let's find a product. There are all kinds of tools that you can use to search for products. You can search by keywords, you can search what's selling, but I suggest to you that that's doing things backwards. You want to start with an audience. Now, in 6 and 6, we started with pets. We started with pets because, number one, the pet industry is like a $72 billion industry. Second, pet parents are rabid consumers. They consume anything if it's beneficial for their pets. That also means that, if something is not good for their pets, they're not going to buy it, and they'll be very disappointed if you sell it. You need to know what their frustrations are. So in the pet audience, what problems are you solving? So for example, if you put out a dog toy, okay, what are you solving by putting out this dog toy? Are you relieving the anxiety that their dogs are having by being home alone for many, many hours? Okay, can you tap into that? What are their frustrations? Well, one of the things, if you're on my Dogington Post page and you talk about it, is that a lot of the products there are a lot of the products that are there, people say their dogs tear them up too quickly. And I have to tell you, as the owner of a only slightly insane dog parent, I can tell you that's a concern. That is clearly a concern that many people have, and it's a fair concern that that you buy a product for the dog and the dog has destroyed it in a relatively short period of time. So these are issues that you have to keep in mind. And when you find out, your list will tell you what exactly is going on there. Okay, so so the bottom line here is that once you have that, once you find out what their frustrations are, you enter the conversation that's going on in their minds. Ask them some questions, and they will tell you what's going on. So let's go do that live. Let's go to Amazon. Let's go to Facebook. And let's go to my page, Dogington Post. Okay, we just posted 6 minutes ago. Hey, what the heck? For purposes of demonstration, is let's start getting some information. What products do you use for excuse the expression, scooping, be nice if I spelled it correctly, scooping the poop. Do you just use a supermarket plastic bag, a scooping device, etc.? What works best for you? Do you have a favorite product? Answer below. So tell people what to do, and you post it, and we'll come back in a few moments, and people will be telling us what they did. Now, I could have posted a picture of a dog pooping or something like that. Probably would have gotten some attention. But what I want to call attention to is that all you have to do here is put up, engage a list, and they will tell you what you want to buy. Okay, so the bottom line here is if you build a list first and you ask people what they want, they'll tell you what they want to buy. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I asked the list, okay, if you go into a pet shop, what are you most likely going to come out with? And they told me two things. They're going to come out with either a toy for the dog, or they're going to, as Kalba brings over a tennis ball. She knows that I'm on a webinar and she loves coming over. And Sandra, could we, she knows it. She sees me and she hears me talking, and Kalba goes, "Oh, it's time to play." So they told me that they buy toys and treats. Okay, by higher math, if I was going to go into a product on Amazon, what would you suggest I use to market to this list? Okay, what would you think that I would market to this list? This is a really tough question here. Type in what you think the answer is. Okay, Kimberly and Pete get it. Toys or treats, toys or treats. Yes, very, very simple. This is not hard. Okay, then if you want better answers to the things, you would narrow it down. So right now, I put up something just about, pooper scooping and so forth, and they will tell me exactly what it is that I need to know. Let the market teach you what they want to buy, okay? Because they sure will. They love doing this stuff. Okay, now I put that up 3 minutes ago, and I already have 10 comments. Pooper, scooper, and plastic bag. Supermarket plastic bags. I use a scooping device at home in my backyard and scoop the poop into a Walmart plastic bag. When we go for walks, I use the rolls of bags you buy at the pet store, easy to carry. I use a garden shovel and toss the poo into the woods. I use scented nappy bags. Nappy sacks are good as they smell nice too. I use a pooper scooper. Supermarket or sandwich bags. Yes, my dog is small. Just a little perfume bag, a small garden shovel. Now, this is only the first couple of people, the early responders. Okay, more answers are coming in now. Supermarket plastic bags and rubber gloves. I love the Arm & Hammer bags. This woman uses a commercial dustpan with a 3-foot handle and no bending over. Store bag and 2 latex gloves. Okay. Supermarket plastic bag. So right now, do you think that they want a fancy pooper scooper device, remote control? It's going to cost a lot to manufacture and get out, remote control. Do you think they're interested in a little a robot that's going to go out there and scoop up the poop? Okay, and the answer is definitely not. They want scented plastic bags at most. Okay, they're telling you. Okay, now if you don't respect your audience's telling you what they want, now, and honestly, do you think that there's a lot of money in scented plastic bags? No. I mean, I can't see it. I can't see going to a huge expense to, do this. And by the way, you should know how many times at the Dogington Post we are approached by people who think that, they're going to corner the market on pooper scooper bags. Sandra, when was the last time that a bunch of pooper scooper bags came in here and I gave them to you? You took home like a whole case of them, remember? Yeah, and you use them. Is there any difference? Okay, are there any difference from one bag to another? What does that mean, better quality? Okay, so Sandra says that one of the things is that the thickness of the bags are different, that sometimes she has long nails and her nails might go through the bag, and so she might get stuff on her nails. Some are biodegradable. Okay, these are the things. Glenna, what do you see on my screen, by the way?
It's still on the build and engage list and
Okay, that's fine.
get products. Yeah.
Did it move to Facebook when I went over to Facebook?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
And you don't see Facebook now?
Yeah, now we do.
Okay. So here we go. We've got 18 more comments coming in, and we're getting information. This is the kind of information that you should have from your list before you market something. Okay? You don't want to just market by product without knowing what's going on. Okay, I hope everybody has gets my point there. Okay, important. So you have to enter the conversation in their mind. So far, I'm not hearing that there are any frustrations or problems that they had. I heard one from Sandra saying, well, if the bag's not thick enough, you're going to have a problem. I heard one from Nanu on the list saying that it's not biodegradable. But I also see that the majority of people are using supermarket bags. And so, although my list spends money, this is not an area that they feel that they have to spend. You must enter the conversation that's in their mind. You have to be able to talk to them about it, and they have to be open to responding to you. Okay? Richard Bandler, one of the founders of NLP, defined selling as unleashing a wanton desire to buy and then point them to your product. Now, most people do a pretty crappy job of selling, especially selling via Facebook. And we're going to be doing some webinars on selling via Facebook that you'll all be invited to. I guess I'm in like the free webinar mood, the teaching webinar mood. So that's where we're going here is making sure that what we are doing is build an engaged list and let your list tell you what to buy. So your first note of the day, your first important note or thing to do for the day is let your market tell you what they want to buy. Let your market tell you what they want to buy. Okay. Now, some people are saying that, well, California is banning the use of plastic bags in the future. Okay, I hear you. So that may be an idea for out there. But right now, for my money, I would not be putting my life, I would not be planning on sending my kids to college on the basis of pooper scooper bags. Okay, that's not something that I would do. You want to find out. So you want to find out. Now, the problem is that most people don't have an engaged audience. Most people don't have this stage of doing it. And that's why you kind of go into the Amazon batter's box with 2 outs and 2 strikes against you. Okay, you're going in with a handicap because you're pretty much selling blind. That's why you should probably, pick your niche and build an engaged list first. Okay. Now, step number 2 is that you don't want products on Amazon. You want to build a brand. You do not want to create products jumping from product to product to product. You want to build a business. And if you build a business has products that are somewhat consistent across the board. And so that you can upsell, you can cross-sell, and you can build a list. Now, if product A is going to be in kitchen supplies, okay, you have a special oven mitt, okay, and your next product is going to be, superhero pooper scooper bags, chances are you're not going to do real well. You're not going to be able to build a brand, okay? The bottom line here is we want to build a brand, and the product should be what your list wants. So now that you have determined that you're going to get a niche, okay, and you're getting an idea of what to sell in the niche, the next step that you should be, this is before you spend any money whatsoever, okay? You don't spend money first. You spend money afterwards. You want to build a brand, everything in the same niche. Now you want to go out and look at the products that are in that niche that you're thinking of, find out what the top products are, and then you want to read all of the reviews for those products. You want to read the reviews and you want to find out what people are saying about those products. What are the good points? Jot them down. What are the negative points? Jot them down. Pay a hell of a lot more attention to the negative reviews. In fact, the smart person will read every single negative review that is out there. Now, some of the negative reviews are admittedly absurd. Okay, and you need to know how to file them and how to treat them. But if you do not have any idea of what people are saying about it, you could go and create the same mistakes that everybody else does. Okay? So you want to read all of the reviews. Now, when someone posts a negative review, and it's a stupid negative review, it's usually really clear that it's a stupid negative review. Okay? They're saying something like, well, I ordered this product and I wanted it for Tuesday, but the UPS guy, um, you know, didn't leave it at my door because he said I had to sign for it. He said I live in a bad neighborhood and he's not allowed to leave it. So I had to go to UPS the next day and I had to pick up Johnny from his drug clinic early so I could go to UPS and get it, and they downrate the product about it. Now, there's really very little you can do about stuff like that, but you want to know what are the defects in the product. Now, I spoke to somebody who did not do this. I spoke to somebody who saw a product that was selling, did not read the reviews, put his product up on the market, followed all of the steps, and lo and behold, he started getting flooded with negative reviews. Why? Because he didn't do his homework in advance. Now, if you want a product to succeed, you have to have a strong USP. A strong USP means a strong, unique selling proposition. I've created a mind map for you. It's free. I don't think you even have to opt in for it. I don't think. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But you can get the mind map here about how to build a USP. It's in the chat box. You can go there. You can download it. Very simple. Kilstein.com/USP. And there it is. Okay, it's down here, down at the bottom. You can download it. You may get a mind map. You don't have to. You don't have to opt in to get it. But there's your mind map. Go and get it. Okay. I won't be referring to it now, but I will. But it will definitely be helping you. Again, here we're at 32 comments in under 16 minutes. Don't you wonder why more people aren't using this simple method of finding out what the market wants first? Okay. Okay. All right. Let's go back to our thing. And Kay says, officially, Amazon will remove reviews that don't talk about the product. I haven't found that to be the case. So what's your ideal product? Your ideal product is one that your list wants, is consumable, and lends itself to auto ship. Okay? This is gold here. This is the ideal product. It's one that your list wants, is consumable, and lends itself to auto ship. Okay? So that is really significant. Write that down. Now, a lot of people on Amazon will go and they'll find a successful product. They will go and source that product, and they will sell a product that is they will source. They will put the product together. I'm sorry. They will put the they will sell the similar product. They'll just get their own supply. They'll buy it wholesale. Now the problem with that is that you now have competition with other people who are selling the exact same product. And when you do that, what you want is control of what's called the buy box. Okay, so if there are multiple people, let's go here. Let's go to our good old friend Amazon. And we're going to type into Amazon Nature's Way. They make supplements. Let's go Nature's Way vitamins. Okay, let's go to Nature's Way vitamins. Now, there are lots and lots of, see, there are 47 people selling Nature's Way. And other sellers on Amazon. All of these people are selling the same product. And it's competition for who gets the buy box. Okay? Who gets the buy box? Being the one that they get to over here is it's made by Nature's Way, but you don't know who's selling it. Okay? This one is sold by Amazon. Okay? And Amazon will typically undersell just about everybody. Okay? You have here, I'm sorry, there are 54 people selling the same thing. Okay? Amazon took the buy box, and therefore Amazon is going to be making a fortune. But all these other companies are trying to sell, but they're not going to get the buy box because that's taken by Amazon. So if it's someone else's brand, you're going to lose. And that's why when people want to succeed on Amazon, they go into private labeling. When you have a private label, it's your own product. It's your own brand. You get the buy box. You control the marketing. It's you. And no one else can sell it but you. It may be an identical product, but when you private label, you are the one who does it. So what you want to do is one of the things that's a real sign of success for you is going to be able to set up your own private label selling your product. Remember, it could be identical to someone else's it could be identical to someone else's product, but the bottom line here is that there's no competition. Then you have other factors that come in and we're going to be talking about. Also, when you want to private label, and we're going to set that up, you're building a brand, make sure not to use a trademark name. You can go to type in trademark search. There's a government site that does a free trademark search, and whatever you're going to use for your brand, make sure it's not being used. Let's pause for questions. I get to take a sip of my coffee, and Glenna, you get to see what kind of questions there are.
Okay, well, as of yet, there weren't really any questions about what you've covered.
Okay, are you guys getting any benefit? Are you guys getting any benefit out of this? Learning anything? What kind of coffee? I am drinking my bulletproof coffee.
And yes, here come all the yes, absolutely's. Definitely. Thank you. Yes, of course. Thank you. Absolutely.
Okay, there's a lot more coming, folks. Okay, so private labeling. Okay, now I just again, just this morning, playing around, and you may even see it come up in my search box. Private label dog treats. And you see here, I already found this place this morning that I was looking at it. Okay. Dog treats with your logo. Okay. But here, what's really nice is that this place is small, and it's they understand whether you are how big or small you are. They'll even create a recipe for you of dog treats. And you look at the products that they have, Our Treats. Oh, for retailers, let's go there. Why isn't it showing me their treats? Oh, here we go. Okay, now I ask you, does this treat look yummy? Okay, and it has 3 ingredients in it: organic peanut butter, carob, and organic canola oil. Okay, and people are saying, okay, well, that works. Or peanut butter, look at that, Bark Scotty. Organic white flour, organic wheat flour, organic peanut butter, organic canola oil, carob, and vitamin E. Big size. They had some cute stuff before. What did I see? Oh, they even had special things. Where are the ones that didn't look so? Oh, these were, they have sweet potato, gluten-free dog treats made of rolled oats, sweet potatoes, and ascorbic acid. Okay. How many people think these high-end dog treats would sell? Do you think that this would be a good thing to sell or not? And people saying, well, it would sell to an elite market. And the winner, by the way, is Carl Stiffer, who is the first person who answered, ask your audience. Now Julia comes in, ask your audience. Okay? And the answer is, those are the answers. The answer is go back to our audience and ask them. They will tell us whether it's going to sell or not. That's who we want to deal with. We want to constantly go back to them and say, okay, what do you think? Would you get this for your dog? Would your dog eat this? Do you think your dog would like this? And wait for them. Wait for them to do it. Also, I would go to Amazon, and at Amazon, I would be typing in things like organic dog treats. Now, interesting, when I type that in, organic dog treats, see what it says? Made in USA only. Okay? It's teaching you something about the market that's really important, that the dog market is sick of hearing about products that are made in China. Okay? So, Fruitables dog treats, USA origin, made in the USA, made in the USA, made in the USA. Okay, and you can then sort these and you go through the reviews and you find out what they want to buy. So let's see, organic dog treats made in the USA only. Let's see, peanut butter carob. Peanut butter cups. Okay, similar, but there are no reviews. So I'm having a problem on finding things. But again, you guys get the prize. Those of you who answered, like, go back and find out about what your list will tell you. Those are the ones who get the award. You go back to your list and let your list tell you what you want, what they want to buy from you. Any questions on that, folks? Glenna, any questions there?
Okay, Sharon's asking, would you ask specifically if they would buy a specific product, or would you ask generally if the market would like to have something like that?
Well, most companies, big companies like Procter and Gamble, whatever, go out and get focus groups, and they ask lots of information. They'll put products together, they'll put different scents together, asking people if they like the color, the scent, whatever. If you have an audience that will answer your questions, why wouldn't you ask them? What does it cost you to ask them?
Okay, and how big does your audience have to be in order to get quality data?
I'm sure that there are statisticians who do this, but the most important thing is to build a quality audience with which you can engage, and that will, between that and going to Amazon and reading reviews, what you want is an engaged audience. But of course, I wouldn't build my audience just for purposes of asking them questions. I'm building my audience because I want to sell them something later on. Okay? These people, when we build our audience in 6 and 6, it's not because we are building them to ask them questions and get their feedback. We want them to buy our stuff, and buy our stuff they do. They tell us what they want to buy, and then we sell it to them. That's the simple secret formula. Now, Pete's question, I see a question here. Is it not then obvious that you're trying to sell them something? Nobody has any complaints about you selling them something unless it doesn't fit in with what they want. If I were to go to my Facebook page and I were to say, okay, guys, who wants a discount on chicken jerky made in China? I would get so many protests over it. But it's because I know the market. When I ask them a question about, what's in it for them and they want to buy, then they're happy to buy it. Kalba, by the way, is now back here with her favorite trick, picking up a little naugahyde bone and dropping it repeatedly at my feet, so I have to give her attention. She is not my test market, okay?
Okay, and Sharon's also asking, who owns the liability for ingestible items that could affect the dog's health?
All products that you buy, again, in private labeling, It's a good question, but the manufacturer should have liability insurance, and they should give you a document covering your company for anything. This is a normal thing. You're not, I assure you that if you go to a company that's a manufacturer and say, hey, I need proof that I'm covered by your liability insurance, this is something that they hear every single day. They may turn around and say, okay, well, there's a fee for it, and you should be able to say, and you should be willing to pay that fee. But absolutely, you're covered by their insurance. Always verify and always get proof in advance. Good question. Any other questions?
Is the fastest way to build an audience via Facebook pages and ads promoting the page?
Yes, and really good engagement and really good content.
Okay, and could you post a blog comment in a niche to get answers?
If it's your blog and you already have the fans, yes. If you go to someone else's blog, or you could go to a Facebook group to get the answers. Certainly, there are groups for just about everything on Facebook. Find a group and go there and post questions. Absolutely, you could do that. My advice is absolutely create a fan page first, because these people will come back and buy from you in the future. Secrets out, folks. All right. So now, finding a supplier. Finding a supplier. Your basic choice is more or less, and again, please do not send flaming arrows from Canada or from Mexico or from Europe and accuse me of anything. I don't want my friends in Israel saying, "Hey, you left us out." The choices that most people face are divided into two categories: America or China. Let's talk about them. Number one, in America, typically you have higher manufacturing standards. You also have higher labor standards. It's easier communication. They speak the same language as you. Typically, they work similar hours to you. You can, if there's a problem, you can always get somebody on the phone. Typically, you're going to build a relationship with that person, because if your product is a success, you're going to be reordering that product. You may be ordering other things that the company says. They're interested in a relationship with you. You'll get your products faster, and because they want to build a relationship with you, the suppliers will tell you the business. You'll talk to them and go, oh, you want to do FBA Amazon? No problem. We actually even have a step-by-step guide for you for doing FBA Amazon. And they're happy. They understand this. You're probably not the first person to come to them with this stuff. Okay? So that's working in America. Okay. However, there's also China. Why would you choose China? Well, number one is it's way, way cheaper than manufacturing in America. Number two, there's a huge number of products to choose from that are already made. On the downside, you can easily get ripped off if you don't pay attention. Next, you can get low quality products. Yeah, they're cheap, but they may be low quality and difficulty communicating. So if you go to a site such as Alibaba, and let's look at dog beds, luxury dog beds. And you see some really interesting things. Okay, here's a luxury dog bed that, let's see, what that would be on Amazon. It's selling for $4 to $8 a piece. Let's go to our good friends at Amazon. Blue luxury dog bed. And we don't see anything really. This is kind of similar, kind of. And they're selling this for $42. Pay 4 to 8. Here's something similar. This is selling for $26. Okay, obviously a little more research, but you get the idea. Pay something for $4, sell it for $26. That's a pretty good deal. Pretty good deal. How many people would take that deal, buy something for $4 and sell it for $26? Does that sound like a good deal to you? See, the problem is that you don't know enough about that. You need to see it. You need to look at it. You need to see if it's good quality. Okay? You may be finding good quality here. Okay? But the truth of the matter is, when we do luxury dog beds here, there are like 10,000 places. Not all of them are relevant. Oh, this actually does look like the one that was just there. There are all kinds of things that you can get, right? I just bought stairs for my dog. My little dog, climb up onto the bed with me. Dog stairs. Dog stairs for bed. That looks like it. That kind of looks like it. Okay. Sandra, we have carpet on my dog stairs? Okay. I bought it on Amazon. Here's what I bought. It has carpet, but not entirely carpet. Okay, but this is what I bought. I paid $45.99, and they have different pet stairs for from $1 to $5 a set. It should give you, this one looks a little closer, it's in suede, $5 to $20 a set. I mean, whoever I bought my thing from, they made a lot of money on the deal. They at least doubled their purchase. And this one actually looks closest. Okay, $5 and sold for $40. So you get the idea here that there's money to be made in China with materials from China. So the problem is that you can get low quality products. You can get ripped off. They can say one thing and do another, and it's difficulty communicating because the time is off. And then you're going to send them emails. They don't necessarily get answered. We wanted to do business with a company in China. They had something exactly what we wanted. They quoted, and then they disappeared. We absolutely could not track these people down any way, shape, or form, and we ended up with something else because we couldn't get these people for to sell to us. I mean, the bottom line is that we wanted we wanted to do business with them. It's just that they were uh, doing doing something else. So the bottom line is that we are we are moving ahead and understanding that if you want to do business in China, it's really good to deal with a rep in China or someone who is able to do that. For those of you who are in 6 and 6, our friend who I added him to the group, Mark Huang, who has commented a couple of times, this is what he does. He serves as the middle person in between you and, if necessary, because he's in China all the time, he will literally go to the factory, get the samples, ship them to you. So you're talking to somebody and not playing Russian roulette with your money. But for in the US, it's very easy. We just come to our friend Mr. Google and private label dog, whatever, toys, dog shampoo, dog anything, majestic products, private label dog toys, etc. You can find people here on and on and on. But the bottom line is, even on dog toys, yeah, you need to make sure you're covered by insurance. Now, if you're dealing with China and your product is coming from China, you better be damn sure that you have insurance covering yourself and not trust insurance coming from China. Okay? They're not going to be the ones who get into trouble. It's going to be you. So take that piece of advice and CYA. Are there any questions about this section on supplier?
If you send for a sample of a product, how do you prevent them from sending a lower quality product later if you move forward with ordering more?
Welcome to the world of ordering in China. Absolutely. You can absolutely have that problem.
What criteria do you use to select a reputable vendor in China?
Well, if you go on Alibaba, they're starting to catch up to the real world with um, products and sellers with feedback and on and on and on. In other words, it is possible to work to identify somebody good and to work with somebody good from China. Just you got to make sure that you are patient. Don't sign up. I always have a saying that turkeys are going to flap their wings pretty quickly. So please, they will identify themselves. They will identify themselves or work with an agent.
Are there niches to definitely stay away from when buying Chinese products?
Yes. Um, dog treats. That would be dog supplements. Dog treats or dog supplements. I wouldn't do any supplements out of China, and that's really hard because China dominates the supplement industry today. Chances are the vitamins that you take came from China.
Okay, and aren't the shipping fees high from China?
Yes, and the shipping fees could be high from China, and you need to be prepared. That's part of the game, but also the profits are high from China.
Okay, and what kind of insurance policy will they need?
You will need a product liability policy.
Do you buy in China with a credit card? And is there,
They're all
and
different
if
ways
there
of
is a
buying.
fraud, can
Typically,
you
typically, um, typically, they're not going to take credit cards. They're going to want bank wires. Is um, is the best way of doing business with them. They'll let you know how they do things. Here, Alibaba rates people on response rates. Okay, and go to Alibaba and look around, and you can see when we do here dog toys. Okay, you have a choice of someone who is a gold supplier, they're pre-qualified, someone who will let you do escrow, so it's a safer payment. Um, Again, here now, Kang Doi Tog. This is important. Kang Toy. Now it says the word Kong on it. Okay, this one says the word Kong on it. Kong is a trademarked product. Okay, Kong is a trademark product. These tennis balls have a trademark name on them. How many people think that the Kong company is just going to let you sell them because you're a nice person? If you think that, type in, yes, I'm a nice person, they'll let me do that. Okay, so the bottom line is you could end up in this business and you could end up in this business and end up getting sued in the United States for something because you didn't do your homework. You didn't check out and see that Kong Pet stuff was trademarked. Okay. Jerry says they will be like you, like stink on doo doo. Kalba wants to wrestle with me. Okay, here we go. All right, everybody get the idea? Okay, no. So what you see on Alibaba could end up getting you into a lot of trouble. Now, to my friends who are already um, doing Amazon, type in "you're already selling on Amazon." Or type in me. I'm already selling on Amazon. Okay, so there are quite a few of you, and I know that more people are. Ebooks doesn't count for here, but fine. I'm glad you're selling something. Okay. For those of you who are selling on Amazon already, are you learning something? They're all saying yes. Okay. Well, because I do things a little bit differently than the way you guys have been taught. So let's go now further. Okay. Um, Label design, box, and photographs. Once you decide what you're going to sell, you need to get a label for it. You need to get a box design for it, some kind of packing thing, and photographs for it. I've told the story of my friend who went on to Amazon into the yoga mat wash. I wonder if we could find his product. Let's go to Amazon right there. Amazon. Oops. Amazon. Let's go here. Search. Yoga mat spray. Let's say lavender. So Manduka mat, that's a big company. Manduka, Aurora spray. I think this is his product. I think that's his product. And you can tell because he's got the long product description here, and he's using the right words, that this is someone, and he's got 18 customer reviews. And so he's all set. He did exactly what, this guy's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. And he's got a whole bunch of, right here, he's got, the worst he has is a 3-star, I'm sorry, 4-star reviews. And yeah, this is definitely him. So this is a product that somebody could go and find somebody, someplace to manufacture it. Organic lavender essential oil. And if you wanted to do the same thing as he could, you would just go private label yoga mat spray. And you would find companies that will do it for you. Lots of people will do it for you. Okay? So the bottom line here is that you can pretty much whatever you want to go into, you can do it and set it up. Okay? So when you're going to need a label design, a box, and photograph. Always get professional work done. Don't assume that you and your little iPhone or Android phone are going to take quality professional photos. Find out what the rules are for your label. Are there any legal requirements that you need to have? Now, your supplier should know all the requirements already. If you've built a relationship with the supplier, then you should be good. They'll tell you. I private label dog products, and my supplier let me know the requirements in advance of what needs to be on the label. As a matter of fact, they want to design the label for me, charging me $200 because they want to make sure it's done right the first time. Study the competition on Amazon and look at their labels. What are they doing? Buy some competitive products and look at it, because design is what sells on Amazon. If you have a better design is a guarantee of sales. A better design sells at a higher price. Okay? Look at what other companies have. They have brand names. Well, first thing we talked about was you guys building your brand. They have logos. You should have a logo. Creating a product name. Are there any information? It should be required. Are there any required information warnings that should be done by the government? Okay. What kind of contact information? Okay. People want to know that if there's a problem, who can they call? Okay. You know, I've been spraying my yoga mat daily, and it's just not getting clean. Oh, well, how are you doing that? Well, I spray the bottom of the mat and I put it on the floor, and the mat is still dirty. Yeah, well, you're supposed to spray the top of your mat and then wipe it off. Oh, thanks so much. Okay. On the label, what are the main benefits of your product? And then triple check for accuracy. Okay. I know products that have come out with spelling mistakes, and you don't want that going out. And also, your supplier, the one who's going to be printing the labels, they may say to you that you need the label in a special format. You may want to give it to them in a JPEG, and they want an Adobe Illustrator file. You need to make sure what they want and be prepared to do with it. Now, you know that from time to time, I've said, go ahead and work on Fiverr and get this done for $5. This is not the time to use Fiverr. This is a time to build a relationship with someone who's done this before and will do the stuff for you professionally. Okay. And I'll actually give you her name here. Not cheap, but not crazy. Info at Rivki.com. Her name is Rivki Stern. And Rivki does labels, but it's up to your job. It's not her job to find out what the requirements are for the industry. She can't be on top of, warning, keep this, do not put this if you have sensitive skin or whatever, or, do not use if you have contains gluten, whatever the warnings are. You cannot assume. She's not responsible for your errors. If you give it to her with a spelling mistake, it's your responsibility, not her responsibility, and people may charge you to correct that. Okay? And make sure you give it to the supplier in correct form. Are there any questions on that what we've covered so far?
If you have a supplier design a label for you, do you own it in case you end up going to another supplier?
If they design it for you, no. And if you go to another supplier, you're not going to be using the same label because the product is going to be different.
And how do you find out what's required?
You own your brand. First of all, number one is your supplier should know that. I guarantee you that if you're in the United States, your supplier will know that. If you're not if the person is not in the United States, you'll know it by looking at other brands that are out there, studying their labels, and spending a good amount of time with Mr. Google.
Okay. Sooner or later, the original manufacturer's name will appear on the product. Won't your list be mad at you when they Google the product they got from you and find they could get it cheaper?
First of all, number one is why, if it's a private label, why would the manufacturer's name have to appear on the product? It's manufactured by your company. And also, the other company may not sell retail. Big manufacturers do not necessarily sell retail. So you're building up a scenario that, in all likelihood, doesn't exist.
Do you put both the UPC and FN SKU numbers on it?
You're going to have to see what your manufacturer tells you and what Amazon requires.
And I think they're asking for a verification of the Rivki spelling, whether it has an E at the end or not.
There's her website. All yours. There she is next to the president's and graphic designer, marketing, brochures, labels. She can pretty much do what you need for graphic design.
And how much inventory do they need to get started?
How much inventory do you need to get started? I don't know that there's a minimum requirement. A lot of these factors depend on, first of all, number one, how much money you have to spend. That's A. Next is every manufacturer has what's an MOQ. MOQ stands for minimum order quantity. Someone isn't going to do private label for you for 25 items. You know, they could be doing 150, they could be 500. For example, the supplement company that I work with has a minimum order of their minimum order quantity is 500 items. Okay, so that is where, you know, it depends on the company that you do business with. You may not be able to afford that. You may want to split the inventory with someone.
Okay, and where can they find the requirements of Amazon for private label?
We're going to get to that in just a moment. Stay with me. Now here we're back here. Oh God, look at that poor dog. Again, we're an hour ago. We put this up. We have 79 different 79 answers. This person says biodegradable scented poop bags. Okay, biodegradable scented poop bags, and on and on. I hope you guys get the idea of the power of, oh, and here someone said a name, mutt mitts. Mutt mitts. Okay, we go to Amazon. Mutt mitts. $200 bags, okay, sold by Amazon. And I assure you, that this is, let's see, that person is making a bloody fortune on it. It's $20. They're 200. They're charging you 10 cents a bag. I assure you that he's paying a fraction of a penny per bag. A fraction of a penny per bag. So, you know, you're looking at some crazy, outrageous profit there. And notice, I will point out to you that the guy is selling mutt mitts. He built a brand, okay? He built a brand. And that's what's really important, is that the guy built a brand. So people say, oh, I don't use biodegradable whatever. I use mutt mitts. Everybody see my point? Everybody understand the illustration that I'm got for you guys here? Okay. Let's go on. Setting up a seller account. You want to go to sellercentral.amazon.com and register. You want to sell as a professional or sell professionally. You get 1 month free. So don't sell this, don't use up your free month until you're ready to do it. Like, don't start now and start paying Amazon $39 a month unless you're registered. You're probably going to want to set up a business name to protect yourself, because we live in a litigious society. You're going to want a corporation. I'm not a lawyer, nor do I play one on TV, but I wouldn't do business without a corporation. When they ask you for an email address, use a business email address with the domain name. Buy the domain name for your corporation. You're going to be using it in the future with your brand. Register your Amazon account with the legal name of your business. Read their terms of service. Fill out the main category you'll be in, the number of products that you want to sell. All of that is changeable. Read all of their FAQs. Amazon will tell you what to do. They're going to want you to verify their identity. They insist on it. There's a quick phone verification. And then you're going to go through a section and fill out your tax information. Amazon is going to report your sales to the IRS. They want to know, are you an individual? Are you a corporation? They're going to want your corporation number, your EIN number. Give it to them, okay? They're going to want a customer service phone number. How are people going to reach you? They're going to want a storefront link. Yes, you name it after your brand. You're going to set up notification preferences, like an order has come in, etc. Choose what you want. Read all of their info and set up your the info that customers are going to see and your policy. What's your return policy? How will you handle returns? And then, do you want to do FBA, fulfillment by Amazon? If you are Prime eligible, it's a plus, because people, even myself, we look for Prime. We couldn't get over to Costco one day, and so we decided to do our Costco shopping on Amazon. And I said, okay, Sandra, look for the items and then select Prime only. And we had everything shipped to us for free within 2 days or so. Okay, so this is something that you should be doing. You're going to need barcodes. Let Amazon tell you what you need. Add the relevant information, and you will be ready to start selling. The first time you are selling the things, you're going to see exactly what you need. So I suggest you set up that business information first. If you're selling a product, any kind of product, even if you are covered by insurance, I recommend you have your own liability insurance. It's not very expensive. Cover your butt. Cover your butt. Okay, any questions so far?
If Prime shipping is offered, is Amazon selling the product, and does that disqualify the product for our purposes?
No, your product could be Prime as well. Your product could be Prime as well, not just Amazon.
Do they
All
report
of these
anything
involve
if
just
you're...
different fees. Go ahead. Next question.
Do they report anything if you are outside the USA?
I don't believe so. It's up to you to declare that.
Okay, and Gerald had said, I'm unclear on the requirements to sell dog treats and supplements. Does it require a state-by-state registration in order to sell online?
No. No, it does not.
Do you need liability insurance for every single product?
Well, basically, liability insurance is going to cover everything you sell, and your insurance company will educate you onto what they need. They're going to ask you things. They may ask you ingredients, etc., and you just want to deal with that.
And a couple people had asked, where do they find or what do they look for in liability insurance?
Call a local insurance agency, and if they don't handle it, which they may not, they'll point you in a direction. Not everybody does handle that.
And how tough is it dealing with state tax if you're selling to all 50 states?
So first of all, number one, if you're on Amazon, Amazon takes care of that. Amazon is collecting the tax. And most cases, you aren't going to have any issue at all.
Okay, and what is multi-channel fulfillment?
There are different ways of fulfilling. Go into Amazon, they'll ask, do you want to offer fulfillment by merchant, which is one option, or just fulfillment by Amazon. Okay, let's go on a little bit further. Now you have to add your listing to Amazon. And everybody says keywords, 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 that they're important. Again, the first thing you should be doing is studying the most successful things in your market. Start with search, knowing your product. Now, years ago, people made fun of me when we did blog curation because we talked about long tail keywords. Glenna, do you remember that? When we would do the curated articles and we would teach them to use long tail keywords as the subject lines.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. And people thought that we were wrong and we should just focus on like individual keywords, like meditation. But now it's proven that, long tail keywords are pretty much 90% of the traffic today. Long tail keywords are the ones that convert. Now, there are lots of tools that are out there for keywords. You want to use modifiers like the best, the fastest, the easiest. But the main thing that you should be doing is studying the top sellers. And what do you do with the keywords when you find them? They go into your headline, they go into your bullet points, they go into your product description, they go into your promotional material. You can use them for Amazon PPC if you do that. But keywords and getting inside, remember we talked about it here, getting inside the conversation in their mind now comes back to us because they've told us what they want, and now the long tail keywords are what they are searching for. So all of this is linked together, okay? Now, if you've done everything right that we've talked about so far, and your product still doesn't sell, chances are you'll see some pretty crappy copy. Copy, again, we talked in the beginning about the classical direct marketing techniques. Just putting a product description up is not the same as selling. We're going to be doing webinars in the coming weeks about selling on Facebook. You'll all be invited to that, but you need to be studying some really good copy, especially short form copy. I'm going to recommend you study things like LL Bean, Land's End, J. Peterman catalog. These are people who hire really good writers to get people to want to buy. Okay? Make sure that you're just not trying to get this over with. Okay? If you are going to be executed by the king, and the king said to you, okay, you can plead for your life. You can either use simple short words or you could go on and on forever and, you know, pull out whatever's in your repertoire. Which one would you use? Okay. Obviously, you would use the second one. Well, this is pleading for your business life. Okay. This is your business life, and that is, all right, that things. Kimberly here, who's one of the stars, says see taxjar.com. Glenna, if you want to put that in. And she said she had to file for sales and use tax in every state where Amazon has warehouses. So put into the chat box taxjar.com. Okay. She says she's hardly a star. Well, I think you're a star. Okay. Well, that's a good advice. Okay. So this is right now. This is where we're going to go up to today because we're already at more than an hour and a half, and I'm running out of steam. This recording will be not like last week's. This one will probably be made available. But also, a lot of people have been asking me about the relaunch of 6 and 6, and it's coming, I don't know soon, but if you're interested in being on that, you can get on the wait list. I'm putting it in the chat box. Kilstein.com wait list. If you're already in 6 and 6, don't go ahead and add yourself there. But kilstein.com/wait list, and I'll let you guys know, because in that way, we don't just make money through Amazon, we make money in, you know, like a half a dozen ways. And there are people who are doing extremely well, making 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, $80,000 a month with this program. So if you're interested, go to kilstein.com/waitlist. If you go ahead and you enter your name there, I will send you the mind map of this so you can use it as a guide. Give me a day or so to get together, and I will send that out to you. Any last questions? I hope you got something out of this. There's a whole second side of this that we're going to be doing just with 6 and 6 about launching your products and reviews, coupon codes, inventory theft, how to promote your product, how to analyze your results, when to know whether it's a winner or a loser. Just as much time. We could go into greater depth on everything here, but I'm running out of steam, and as Sandra pointed out, I haven't even gotten out of my chair today. So I hope you learned something. Comments, questions?
Yeah, several people were saying thank you, very good information. And then as far as the 6 and 6, they were just asking, I guess, about the making sure that if they sign up for that, that they'll get the mind map.
Well, first of all, you're not obligated to buy anything to get the the mind map. Okay, that should be obvious from you guys knowing me. And number two, 6 and 6. Someone said, "What is it?" It's a program where we go ahead and we target the pet industry, and with the pet industry, we build huge Facebook pages, and we can consult with them and get information on what to buy. So what they want to buy, and we can sell it to them, and that's pretty much it. There's a lot more to say, but not much time to do it. I said that there was a no pitching rule, and I'm going to stick to it. So thanks, guys. We'll put out the recording. 6 and 6 members. It will be in the member area. Everybody else will put it up someplace so you guys can find it and watch it. Okay. Hope you guys learned something. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.